Sorry guys, this video's been super duper delayed. I did not mean for it to be this delayed. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I know I've been busy. I've also been a little bit of a DJ in the past couple of days, so yeah, I've been a bit of a DJ and there's no excuses. I'm sorry, I know, I'll continue to... No more of that. No more silly stuff like that. Okay. Anyway, today another Confluence video, so get your books ready. Get ready to write stuff down because we're going to be learning today. We're starting to get into some better complex stuff sort of today. Some stuff that is actually good for your learning. So today, a break of structure. Does anyone know what that is? Assuming not, because that is why you're watching this. Rise to Riches Bootcamp. And the reason you clicked on this video. Okay, a break of structure, or like a market structure shift, is when market switches from a downtrend to an uptrend. We are breaking structure. So, start out with the drawings. How I learn better is I'm a visual learner, so whether you are the same or whether you are not, still write this down and draw it. Drawing it helps the best. So it helps the best. Sorry. So we'll start with uptrend. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Boom. Now what? Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. See that? This right here was our break of structure. Okay, that may look easy. I'll do a couple more examples because this is for me, and I know for a lot of people they struggle. Like, I know it sounds easy, like that looks easy, but I know a lot of people that have struggled on this. Myself struggled with understanding this at the start. Like, this is the hardest Confluence in my opinion to understand, and once you understand it, it's very easy and it is like nothing. So there is our first example. I will do another one, except a bearish example. I'm going to try and get these videos done quicker, so it's, I know you guys have a low attention span, so yes, pump it out faster. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Boom. Break of structure. Okay, so let me explain it. What is a break of structure? A break of structure is when there is a closure below, so for this trend, the lower high, when we have a bullish close above the lower high. Do you get that? So, okay, don't worry about that market. Because when we have a closure below the lower high, and for an uptrend, if we break structure to the downside, it would be when we have a closure below the higher low. Do you get that? Sorry, my voice is real bad. Okay, I'll set two examples next to each other. Boom. Oh. No, gosh. Muppet. Sorry. There is a break of structure. Do you see what I mean? It is when... Okay, I'll write this. Sorry, I was doing. So boom, for our uptrend. Take a screenshot, do whatever with this. A break of structure is when we change a market structure. That sounds dumb, just, yeah. Example, when we are in an uptrend and we close below the higher low. Do we get that? And then obviously vice versa for the downtrend. For a break of structure, when we are in a, there's the second one, down, and we close below the lower low. Oh. Right, do we get that? Easy. Sweet. Okay, let's get into the charts. So a break of structure is the first candle. Okay, I don't want to confuse you guys because this is where it gets confusing. So right here, actually I'm going to go into a higher time frame, so it might be a bit easier. Okay, should I find a better example? Here we go. So here we were in an uptrend. So boom, higher high, higher low. Okay, break of structure is formed off of, it could be two candles. So it has to be a up candle and a down candle. So an up candle, then a down candle, that is a high. A down candle, then an up candle, that is a low. Okay, do you get that? Sweet. I'll have to go over highs and lows as well. We'll go over highs and lows, but so up, down, up, down, up, down. So where is the lowest point in these two candles? There. Close below that. That puts us in a downtrend. And yes, in this situation, it did not work out. We split back up. But anyway, we did break structure back to the upside. So where did we break structure back to the upside? Correct. Here. What happens once we break structure? Boom, we continue to rally higher. I'll give you a brief summary on highs and lows, but here we go. Much better example. Boom, boom, boom. In a downtrend, all the way down, down, down. What do we do? There. That is where we break structure. Why? Move up, move down. So what is that? A high. A move down, and then a move up. What is that? A low. Move up, move down. High. So here. Okay, sorry. Oh, I may have made these the wrong way around, but you still should get the concept. So there we go. Move up, move down. High. Just literally remember, move up, move down. High, move down, move up, low. So why did we not break structure up? Why is this not the break of structure? Compared to down here. Simply, it's because, like I said, it's the most recent high and low. So that is the most recent high. So if we find another example, it's the most recent high. Like, try to explain this as best. Okay. So that why is the break of structure not this candle here? Why would it have been this candle here as opposed to that candle there? Because this is the most recent high. Because this is the most recent move up, move down. Do you get that? Not this one, because this was the move up and the move down beforehand. So this would be the high. This would be the break of structure. Are we starting to get that? Yes, sweet. Find another example for bullish one. Okay, where is the break of structure here? That is correct. That was the break of structure. Why is that the break of structure? Because that is the most recent high and low. Understand that? Easy. Bearish examples now. Easy. Spotted one instantly. Where is the break of structure here? There. I know a lot of you would have said down here or down here, but no. That was the break of structure. Why? Because it moved down, move up, low. Get it? The most recent. So whatever happens before that does not matter to you. You don't care about it. Alright. What about the break of structure here? This is an Expert Pro one. That is the break of structure. Why? Because that is the most recent low. None of this lows matter. Move down, move up. That is the most recent break of structure. Another one. Another one. DJ kidding. Here we go. Where is the break of structure here? If you said there, you were correct. The most recent low. So do we get that? Do we get that? Next video is going to have to be highs and lows, so you may want to watch this video the other way around, but it shouldn't really matter. So low, actually no, I don't need to do that. So do we get that? Break of structure was when we break above the, if we're in a downtrend and we're making lower lows and lower highs, lower low, lower high, when we close above the lower high, and then uptrend. If we want to go into a downtrend, it is when we close above the, so high, low, high, 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 low, high, high, low, high, high. So we close below the high and low, that is when we switch trends into a downtrend. Sorry. Sorry, I got a bad voice at the moment. But we should get that. We should be understanding that by now. I'm not going to go too much more in depth. If you do struggle with this, let me know in the comments. I'll cover this video again because I know this is a very difficult one to get at. So I'll probably cover it again once I make the highs and the lows video, so I might do that next, and I might do a part 2 of this. So I might do 2 or 3 parts of break of structure because I know it is quite difficult. But with that being said, I'll leave you guys to it, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.